the song that was playing us into the 30 minutes, into the quarter of the show was Zahara Uloli. We're followed by Umtwalo. And a voice note there by one of our listeners as the question of the day stipulates that do you think Lobola is relevant in the 21st century?
Yeah.
And of course, I'm joined by the shooting stars I said beginning of the show. No, not Cribs and Blood. No, not those ones, not Game, not those ones. I'm talking about the real shooting star.
Yeah.
The real, not the real Black Pro, the real Nova.
You're the hype. They're hype, bruh.
You know, we gotta bring it. We gotta. How you doing, Nova?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm so glad you could join us today, man.
I'm also glad, man. I'm also glad made it happen in the last minute. I was like, I have to come.
You almost did it. I was like, yo, what am I gonna do?
But I had to come, hey. I
You
wanted
know?
to be on the show today.
But I made a wish on a shooting star, which is Nova, and it came through. What's up?
Yeah.
So you guys are still listening to my TV radio station, man. The coolest station in the Bay on the antidote with your boy, so I'm called obviously Antinova. Listen, the topic of the day is: do you think Lobola is still relevant in the 21st century? And our friend there, friend of the show, the friend of the station, was talking about, look, it depends. Because when you deny Lobola, it's denying our culture, it's denying our identity. I mean, Nova, me and you, we don't really have experience with this, but what you think? Like a 2 second year?
Lobola. I think Lobola is relevant.
Yeah.
But obviously we're moving into an age like of Christianity, and there's a lot of things that are happening right now.
Right.
But I personally
And feminism and capitalism and all that.
There's a lot of things that are happening that are hindering the process of obviously Lobola, and we can't blame people's beliefs and all of that, right?
Sure.
But I personally believe, for me, if you were to ask me if I do want Lobola or not, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes.
And that is the debate, and that's why I stipulated this question at Shoba. Do you think it's relevant? Because I would understand why some of the men would not agree.
Yeah.
And I would understand why some women would be for it. But on the show, we've got a special show today. We have a gender activist, Andy C, aka Andy, and she's gonna be talking about this from not even a female perspective, a gender, activist. Equal. Everyone's equal,
Yeah.
And speaking about everyone's equal, man, listen, people at the streets are talking. The Twitter streets are talking over.
Yeah.
And people are slamming Mac G, talking about how he put Ubuhle, the hitmaker. Ubuhle was featured by Casper Novest in a song called Siamtanda, which went to #1. And Casper's like, yo, this was my first #1.
Yeah.
And people are saying, look, Mac G did something wrong. He did put Ubuhle on the spot to boost the show's ratings by making confess things that,
That's his job, though. That's his job. He should do that.
He should, but I feel like sometimes, remember when he interviewed Kabel, I felt like, hey, Krotman, and he's asking like all these cringe questions. Even with Zahara, I'm like, look, there's a certain age limit or age, category that you can ask these things. But Krotman, dude, come on, yo, you see how I was pressing Kabel with the drugs?
When you've watched Nick J a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
By now, you should understand that this is how he do things. He won't change. This is his show. And we love it for that.
True, man.
Yeah, it makes it makes a lot of viewers because of that, and we are looking for that. Because if we can say he has to change, he has to do things differently, then he'd be like the other shows that we don't watch. Then what's the use?
Yo, that is shade that we don't watch.
Yeah.
I watch everything, guys.
What's the use?
So
we know that he makes viewerships because of that.
Okay, so
Makes numbers, bruh.
So you saying, it's fine for Bushra to come out and say Casper didn't write, because the article I just read on Celeb says Casper, she's saying that Casper didn't write anything. It's tricky because she's also saying she wasn't there, and she's also saying she knows that Casper only wrote his verse, and it's tricky. It's tricky
I think it's a good thing that it came out. If Casper didn't write the verse or didn't write the song, it has to come out. It has to come out. Things like this have to come out. We're tired of people using people's IP for their own gain. We're tired of that. If he didn't write it, if it's true, then we are for it. It had to come out. So why blame Make G?
I see that, man. I see that. But even the structure of the show and the structure of the song also, man. It's like she sings 90% of the song.
Yeah.
And Casper's just it's a brand name thing, man. I don't really think there was a squabble, Nasty C and DJ Speedster. Nasty C gave DJ Speedster a song. DJ Speedster was like, it's my song. Nasty was like, no, it's my song. So I think it was a partnership in terms of like that.
Yeah.
And of course, there's different ways of making a song. Maybe you rearrange it, produce it. We don't know, but what we do know, that Antidote is the coolest show in the Bay.
Yeah.
station. And after this, man, we're going to be joined. I'm going to give gender activist a call, and me and Nova are going to have and expand this topic and take it to the first hour of the show, which is 2, and we'll be introduced to Kosa News there with our Kosa anchor. Just still listening to Mediva's radio station. What's up?
For sure.